A man bludgeoned to death, his family in disbelief.
Why someone should kill him like that? Because he never used to trouble nobody.
A step-by-step breakdown of the referendum process.
They will mark an X just like they would do in a general election.
Plus, we highlight another survivor this Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
I was never expecting, cancer. Nobody in my family had cancer.
I'm Nakia DeVoe, and this is NB12 Weekend. Welcome to NB12 Weekend. Thanks for spending your Sunday evening with us. A man bludgeoned to death in a car lot brings the murder count to 94. Those who discovered the man's body say his face was so badly beaten that he was almost unrecognizable. We spoke to police and the victim's family about the gruesome discovery of Gregory Sands.
No, I don't know why they are nothing. Why someone should kill him like that? Because he never used to trouble nobody.
The body of 55-year-old Sands was discovered in a car lot on Kenwood Street just off Wulff Road after noon today. We spoke with the man who made the gruesome discovery, who did not want to be identified. He told us that his boat is kept in the back of the car lot, and when he went to check on it this morning, he discovered a body covered with a sheet. Only the hands and socked feet were visible. When the eyewitness removed the sheet, he recognized Sands, but just barely. He said Sands was shirtless and his face was bashed in and bloody. Superintendent Paul Roll gave more details.
We say blunt force trauma, right? So that we did find a rock. It's suspected bloodstains.
Superintendent Roll says it is still not clear how long the body was in the lot, but based on early investigations, it appears he was killed about 24 hours before his body was found. The victim's brother, Kevin Sands, says the family is still trying to make sense of what happened.
Well, they called us this morning, so they found him in the yard over here. All right, we came down and everything.
What type of person was your brother?
He wasn't a bad person, He was, working and everything, yeah. I saw him Friday out there by Charlie Tire Shop, and I talked to him, you see. And I ain't seen him since from after that. Yeah.
Sands' sister, Lisa Sands, says he worked at Virgo Car Rental and had no wife or children. She told us he was the sixth child of 12, and they were all very close. Miss Sands said her brother called her every day, and she was concerned when she didn't hear from him after Friday. Neighbors say Sands was well known in the area and spent a lot of time there.
We used to live right there. That was our yard, all right? That's where our neighbors string us, right in this yard. Yeah, we had about 6 houses in the yard. But all us move out. But he still is hanging around here, you see.
Neighbors told us they didn't hear or see anything. At last report, officers did not have a suspect, and they are appealing to members of the public who may have any information on this latest incident to contact police immediately. A 2-week hunt for a missing Cat Island man may be over after the discovery of a burned and mutilated body Thursday. Police on Cat Island discovered burnt human remains through a track road in Devil's Point just before midnight Thursday. Now family members of Fortis Monker of Knowles Cat Island say they believe it's him. We called Monker's cousin Philip Monker at his Cat Island home today. He told us why there's no doubt in their minds that the remains belong to their loved one.
Well, he was the only person reported missing from here within the past 2 weeks, and I think they said that some flesh was still on the bottom part of the body. But it's believed to be him.
Earlier this week, Monker said his cousin was last seen on October 5th at 9 a.m. and he later found the missing man's car on a public dock in Smith's Bay with his laundry still inside. Police have not identified the burned remains. An autopsy will be conducted to officially determine the victim's identity. And in other news, now that the Abaco by-election is officially over, the focus has now been placed on the much-anticipated referendum on gambling. Prime Minister Perry Christie has said the referendum would be held after the by-election, but a date has yet to be set. Now, the question is being raised as to exactly what the referendum process entails. Our Jasmine Bonamy has the details in this report.
A date for that much-anticipated referendum on gambling has yet to be set, but already officials at the Parliamentary Registration Department are kicking their preparations into high gear. In repeated interviews, Prime Minister Perry Christie has said he's optimistic that the referendum would be held by the end of the year. He's said the planned referendum would ask voters to legalize web shops and/or establish a national lottery. Parliamentary Commissioner Errol Bethel says much like an election, the referendum process involves a lot of manpower and resources. Resources like ballot boxes that were used during the May elections. Bethel says an issue may arise if the referendum occurs too soon after an election, as the ballot boxes are still sealed.
Something like having ballot boxes in place. We have to make sure that we have ballot boxes in place. We've just had the general election, and those boxes that were used in the general election cannot be entered or opened under a certain period of time. So if the referendum comes early, then we cannot interfere with those. We will have to find other stuff to work with.
Bethel adds that election and referendum processes are pretty much the same. The only difference is that voters are casting their votes for policies, not politicians.
Referendum really is you're putting questions to the whole country so that everybody has the opportunity to respond to those questions. And so we have to make sure that we can, be in every single part of the country.
But what exactly will be asked on the referendum ballots? Well, that all depends on the recommendations made by the British firm hired by the Christie administration. Christie says what and how questions are asked will depend heavily on the recommendations made by the firm Dixon, Wilson & Co. The consultants of the British firm have advised the Bahamas government on various issues for the past 15 years, and their input is vital should Bahamians vote to legalize gambling. But no matter what questions are posed, Bethel says the Parliamentary Registration Department will ensure everyone is able to cast their vote.
The major difference is that you're not voting for candidates and constituencies, you're voting on questions that are being put, and the same questions will be put to the whole country. But you have to bear in mind that the whole country has to respond to the same questions. And so we have to make sure that we have the preparations made to reach Bahamians wherever they are, so that they can get the opportunity to express how they feel about those questions. Of course, the answers are only one or the other, yes or no, but they will mark an X just like they would do in a general election.
Reporting for NB12, I'm Jasmine Bonamy.
Residents of eastern, northern, and southern New Providence could be without water Monday night as the Water and Sewage Corporation conducts standard routine maintenance on its primary pumping station on Blue Hill Road. The corporation says customers in those areas will experience low pressure or have no water supply from Monday beginning at 11 p.m. until the work is complete around 4 a.m. Tuesday. The corporation apologized for any inconvenience that may be caused Monday night and said they appreciate customer support as the corporation works to improve the level of service.